Hey caregivers, how's everyone doing today? I just left an appointment and I was just thinking on my way here, because I've been looking at some posts and some stories and podcasts and things like that with caregivers, people who are supporting caregivers, and the content is, supporting caregivers and those who are caring for others. And I'm like so appreciative to see. Let me turn off my, it's too loud. I'll turn off, I'm sorry. So glad to see more content about this topic, because it's not talked about too much openly. And sometimes we may feel too, we're maybe younger and we feel, oh, this doesn't apply. It does, because time and unforeseen occurrences happen to everyone. Even though you may not be at the age, or your parents may not be sick at this time, but unforeseen occurrences come, and you never know when you're going to be thrown into a caregiver role. And also, some people, young people, have children with disabilities, or they just have to take care of other family members with disabilities. So it's a real topic, and it's not talked about a lot, but a lot of people are dealing with caregiving issues. And so just seeing all of these channels, these posts, podcasts about caregiving is just so encouraging, so needed, and I'm so happy to see it, because we really need this type of information. And so I was just thinking about that, and I'm so appreciative that this is being made available to other caregivers. But I just wanted to talk about my personal experience, because a lot of things that I'm seeing are talking about their experiences they had while caregiving, finding resources, talking about the emotional effect of it and physical effect, and talking about those things and making people aware. However, for me, because I'm a lifelong caregiver, remember, I've been caregiving since I can recollect, 10 years old. So for me, I see the most priority, what's most needed for caregivers is their health, optimal health. There's a lot of bureaucracy, red tape. You have to deal with different agencies. You have to deal with healthcare systems, medical staff, doctors, these nursing homes, these rehabilitation facilities. It's endless. And so it doesn't, you could have the resources, but if you don't really have that, I'm talking about that a lot of money. If you're not clocking in lots of money, you got to deal with these systems. And it's so challenging, and it can be stressful if your mindset is not right. And either way, you're going to have to deal with that part of it. And then also with resources, it depends a lot of times from state to state. So even if you're trying to help in a general as a caregiver, you'd have to use nationwide organizations or things like that. But a lot of the services you need may be state to state. And so unfortunately, it's hard to just get so many resources from state to state. Even though one of my goals is to create a resource guide, and that's what I'm working on. But I think the most crucial part of caregiving is optimizing your health, because in order to deal with all of that, you have to be in a good state, mental, physical, and emotional state in terms of your health. Because almost every caregiver I know, personally, now there's people that I don't know, but every caregiver I know, after the caregiving had ended, their health deteriorated. including my own. It takes such a toll on your body. And the thing about it is, in the process, you're not even aware of what's going on until after, when it's, you know, because that cortisol is just running through you constantly 24/7, and you're not even aware of it. So to me, the most important thing a caregiver can do is to optimize their health. And that is why I got into health coaching, and that's why I chose as my mission to help caregivers, because there's just no way you can escape the physical and mental emotional effects of caregiving if you're not prioritizing your health. Even if you do prioritize your health and you're eating right, you're exercising, you're getting enough sleep, you're trying to continue to keep your social connections and your purpose, all those different things that are combined the lifestyle to be healthy. Afterwards, you're still going to have some effects. I personally, that's what I believe. But if you're at your optimal, they don't hit you as hard. You can go on and move forward in your life and still function, still pursue your passions, your dreams, your whatever it is, and still be intact to take care of your family. Because sometimes we're part of the sandwich generation where we have our own families, our mates, our children, or whatever we're caring for, and then we're taking care of our parents. And so you need to really optimize your health because everything is temporary, including caregiving. Unfortunately, some of us, we lose those we love that we've cared for, or sometimes it's just a period of time, a season. But lost my thought. Somebody was walking by. It's just a season, but there's an after. And then when that's done, will you have the physical, mental, emotional health and stamina, the capacity to continue to take care of your family? It's just a lot that people don't talk about. Caregivers are twice as likely to develop chronic disease, and they have twice as mortality rate, because it is just really a lot, and most people are going to experience some form of caregiving, if they have connections with their family and loved ones. So resources are good, all of that is, we need that because you're trying to navigate a system that's not made to really help. So it's so good to have resources, having caregiver support, being a part of a community. However, to me, the priority is your health, especially if you're like an older caregiver. And I'm not saying 40 years old, but when you get into your 40s on forward, that's when your body, you start feeling the effects of all of the stuff you did prior to that. If you haven't been eating right, that's when your body starts breaking down. And so you really need to prioritize health. And that is why I chose to help caregivers eliminate chronic stress and maintain optimal health while caring and after, because it's just the health effects that come with it, and your adrenaline is so high, and you're so on you're just going, and you don't even realize how your body's being affected. And so it's so important. And caregivers, they need support when it comes to navigating the system. They need, I also believe when you're caregiving, you need some sort of therapy sometimes, for the mental and emotional piece, because sometimes it can take you to a place. Not, you don't have to have it, but for some cases you may have to have it, depending on the, you know, the severity of your situation, or the amount of responsibility you have could be taking such a toll. You may need the mental support, you know, but you need that physical support. Also, sometimes health coaching can help you with that piece. If you know, if you're not really at a state where you really are depressed, in a real depression or things like that, health coaching can be helpful. It helped me having a business coach. It helped me do a lot of self-development, helped me to recognize how I was sabotaging myself, how my mindset was, and how that was affecting the way I was showing up, and also affecting my health. So coaching can be really good with that as well. So if you're a caregiver, please avail yourself of the resources, all of the wonderful information out there, the podcasts, the stories, the blog, the books. Avail yourself of those things. But this is my opinion. Your health should be the number one priority. And sometimes we have the mindset, because we're caregivers, that we cannot prioritize our health. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. That's not true. Because I've done it personally. You can still get enough sleep. You can still exercise. You can still eat right. Eat healthy, rather. Eat healthy. You can still get enough sleep. You can still have social connections. You can still pursue your passions or purpose. You know, I'm a health coach. I started my business when the pandemic started. That's when I became a health coach. And so, and I'm of a particular age. So, and, you know, things you can still pursue. And I have my spiritual goals. That's my ministry. I'm like, you know, it's a lot, but it can be done. What I'm doing, like, it's a lot what I'm doing, but it has to have some balance, and that's how coaching can help you, and help you to eliminate chronic stress. Sometimes we are putting our energies in areas that we should not be putting our energy in, and we're not prioritizing the right things. And so it is possible. It's not even an option, really. If you're a caregiver, it's not an option. It should be non-negotiable. So I just wanted to come on and say that, because that's what I was thinking about today. And on that note, know what y'all got to do. Have an amazing day on purpose. See you guys.